half a mile, take exit 238A toward Augusta, Greenville.
YouTube, we all the way live, guys. What's the dealie out there? Yo, let's talk about the fight last night. I did a video, had like 3 good videos back to back.
Take exit 238A.
Part 1, part 2, and 3, but you know, had too much stuff in it where YouTube won't let it slide. So so that didn't work out. But let's have a conversation about the fight, man. It was real interesting. Real interesting scene of events. Anybody out there? And I'll start talking. Where my people at?
In half a mile, keep left. Follow signs for I-285 East, Augusta.
Well, anyway, the fight, Spencer and Peterson.
Keep left.
Just like everybody else, I thought the fight would be a lot better than what it was. And I'm not going to jump on anybody.
Continue on I-285 East for 12 miles.
I think considering, you know, considering the ability of both of them, they did what they can do. Peterson, at first, seemed real strong. He seemed like he was ready to pretty much walk through Spencer's punches. And you know, that's one thing about a puncher. If you don't let a puncher hurt you, if a puncher can't hurt you with every punch, then he loses a lot of confidence. And the fight can definitely go in the other way around. But in this particular fight, in the beginning, the first round, I think he might have got Spencer's attention because his defense was okay. I say okay because he didn't do the defense properly. You do a defense off the angle. He was blocking squared up. So the punches, you know, eventually gonna start landing. But since he didn't angle up on him, he just squared up on him in the first round. It made Spencer feel some kind of way because he couldn't land those accurate shots, which is the only way he was gonna knock this kid out, is through accurate shots, because the punches that were just landing on the head, on the hands, and on his arms wasn't going to be enough to knock Peterson out or hurt him. And I think Peterson realized this also in the first round, but him being not a really good defensive fighter, not really knowing how to make adjustments, he just kept his hands squared up, you know, over his face, as if though that's true defense. But just guarding your face is not defense. Defense is what you work off the angle. I always tell fighters that you should be blocking and moving from more or just as much, if not more, punches than you throw. Most people are offensively fighters, and most people, defense is their offense. They stay active. Well, my man Peterson, at first, tried to be defensive. That was his plan, and that was a good plan. The best thing you do to a puncher like Spencer is you make him not be able to hurt you. And then you can break him down from there. You can survive, and then you can fight back. But if you can't survive, no matter how good you fight back, once that puncher lands his punch that debilitates you, it's going to mess things up. And it's going to give the puncher confidence. So this is the mind game that was going on in the first round. Brilliant first round. You know, Peterson came out with a good plan. Defend yourself, and eventually he would be able to see shots and be able to take shots back. But what happened is that when Spencer went in his corner, they told him that this guy's square and he's just standing there, so don't punch at his arms no more. Don't appease him. You know? And Peterson couldn't make adjustments after that second adjustment. You know, that fights, so many fights are won in the second and third round because it changed the tempo of the fight. When they go back and talk to their corner and learn the plan, it changes the tempo of the fight. Very, very few fighters can actually change up their plan in the ring by themselves without going back to the corner. You got some fighters who can make them adjustments, you know, almost instantaneous. But in this case, Spencer showed his youthness, showed his immaturity, and he had to go back to the corner to figure out how he was going to really be effective. And what he did is he started getting accurate with his shots and started bringing them around his elbows and in between his hands and his gloves and on top of his head. That's how he started landing the shots that was effective. He had the power, but the power don't mean nothing if you can't land the shot. And Spencer started landing them shots by the second round. Just that fast, the whole fight turned around. Now, instead of Peterson being able to just stand there and keep his hands up and take shots, now he got to come up with a plan to defend himself, because these shots starting to hurt because he hitting them in the right spots. Peterson came out there real bulked up, looking nice and heavy. You know, he has good sparring. He can take a punch. He can fight, but it don't matter how good you can take a punch. Nobody can take a punch. All the punch got to do is land in the right place at the right time. Timing and accuracy will kill a giant. You know? You know? David threw the rock at Goliath and hit him in the right place at the right time. And that's what it is in boxing. When you got that pinpoint accuracy and you popping him where he's supposed to be hit, that takes the other stuff away. All that other defense he doing don't mean nothing because he's not making adjustments with his D. So that was pretty much the end of the story after that. Peterson never recovered. He never found another way to, defend himself. Because once you can defend yourself against a puncher, then you can plan on how to counterpunch and how to put pressure back on the puncher. Another thing, Peterson, by standing straight up like that and squared up, you know, his corner was complaining about him not moving his feet. He wasn't moving around. He wasn't clicking his heels. He wasn't getting out of there, in and out. Well, that's not as important as it is to fight off of your angle. You got to fight off your angle and get active while you're doing your defense. This is what a lot of people don't know about defense. Defense ain't just standing still and putting your guard up. It's not like a shield. Defense is alive. Your hands got to move. You got to react off of his actions. It's not just you just put up a block. It's not like you blocking a gun or somebody shooting a direct shot at you. You gotta actually make moves using your legs as your foundation. You know, I don't recommend moving around sometimes.
In 2 miles, take exit 44 for Glenwood Road.
And take a puncher's heart. Sometimes it's better to be closer to the puncher than farther. That was another mistake by Peterson. You're supposed to step into a puncher, not stand there or step back. Step back, you get caught. When you stand there, you definitely get caught. You know, you're supposed to go under his underarms, under his underarm pits. Get close to the puncher. Smother the puncher. And learn how to pick the shots off. Learn how to react off of every punch. And get on your angle, because some people so fast they can shoot through your guard. So you got to get on an angle and give them a different vision. Peterson didn't do none of that stuff. I don't know. My dad told me he thinks it's because of old habits. He always resorted into just standing there in quicksand and putting his guard up like that. So, you know, can't say it's a lesson for him, because that's just how he fight. Been like that for a long time. Was this great for Spencer? Spence? I would say Spence.
In half a mile, take exit 44 for Glenwood Road.
What this showed me is Spence is definitely young. And this showed me what I always been thinking. These guys don't fight the right people. They fight people that don't have the key to unlock their situation.
Take exit 44.
He did it again. He fought somebody who don't have the key to unlock his situation. But he did show us, he exposed us to the fact that Spencer can be unlocked right now, especially right now in his career. He's young, and he's not as wise as it seemed to the game. He's just very, very talented, very athletically gifted, and he's being schooled on a lot of things, but he's not a scholar yet. So that's why they're bringing him along the way they're doing. It is what it is.
In half a mile, take exit 43 for US 278 East.
Man, back in the day, Sugar Ray Leonard and all these guys, they can get away with a lot of immaturity and the things that they wasn't ready for. Simply because that's how...
Take exit 43, then keep right at the fork.
Nowadays, boxing is so technical. Boxing is perfected in a lot of ways.
Keep right at the fork.
There's multiple styles nowadays, different cultures, bringing different athleticism. So you can't get away with a lot of things.
Continue on US 278 East for 4 miles.
So I'm not down in Spencer. Spencer is definitely a superstar. And if he was in the 80s, he would be great. You know? He kind of reminds me of Felix Trinidad. But nevertheless, he's still young. And I can see the little youngness in him, you know, almost being taken advantage of by a guy who really looked like an old man, pumped up. So that's what I seen about the fight, man. Y'all hit me up. Tell me what y'all think. And that other fight was just terrible, man. I don't even want to talk about it. I don't want to sound like I'm slandering people. But that other fight was terrible. Need to just pay the man, send him home. Peace. That's my way. Get at me, y'all.